Okay. Hey. How come we're not seeing anything right now? Oh, there we are. We're on.
Are we live?
We're live.
There's always a little delay, so just making sure we're live. I'm gonna set my our 15-minute timer, just so we kind of stay on track. So we are sitting in the garage. The birds are singing outside. We have the garage door open, just to set the scene. But
and there's a little hint of coolness, if you can say that,
hint
in the air. A hint.
Yeah, we're in South Florida, so it's a hint. Lean in so we can hear you really well.
All right, people.
So I'm feeling like I need inspiration, and you're feeling like you need meditation.
Yes.
So let's combine those two, meditation with inspiration, because I don't feel like making anything specific, and you feel kind of blah. So let's work off each other's energy and take us through maybe like something we haven't done this before. Maybe like a meditation where we could breathe.
Yeah.
While I paint, you take us through it. You think you like something like that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some watercolors again, and this is how I'm feeling today. I want the edges to be nice and torn. And why do you think I feel that? Let's see if you could figure me out. This is like us.
Yeah.
You know, nobody has
clean lines,
nor is anybody perfect. And I'm working off of things that have happened this week that, you know, we don't need to talk about them. So we're going to express ourselves with them, you know?
It's all about how do you live with rough edges? You know, how do you live a life that's happy no matter what's happening outside, externally?
Learning how to be thankful for anything that you are given, and not think worst case scenario. There's always best case scenario. Sometimes we feel like our problems in that moment in time are so big, and then if you compare it to other people, they're minute. So don't mind me. You start doing your thing while I finish cutting the paper, because I didn't like the way this came out.
Well, I think the biggest thing, at least for me this week, is remembering to stay in the moment. Because do you ask yourself, how am I right now? You know, what fear and anxiety come from the past and the future. So how am I right now? Am I breathing? Am I breathing fully? What's happening? So one of the things that I learned this week is that I don't necessarily take full breaths. So I think one of the good things is to have some kind of breathing exercises that you can just draw on when you feel, I just need to take 2 minutes and relax. And one of them, it's called the 4-7-8 method. So I want everyone just to sit comfortably, however, in a chair, on the floor, wherever you are. We're sitting in the chair right now. And I want you to just take a deep breath, just a normal breath. And I want you to pay attention to, how does that feel? Is it hard to take a deep breath? Is it easy to take a deep breath? What's happening in your body when you try to take a deep breath? I know for me lately, sometimes I do what's called a chest breathing. So you're just breathing from the top part of your chest.
Right, it's not deep. That happens to me. I take very shallow breaths, and then I almost feel like sometimes you're gonna have like a panic attack, because you're not taking. And if I take my time, and you've taught me this, to make sure that the breath comes from deep into my stomach, I kind of calm myself. And that's something that you've been able to teach me, which is a very good resource for everybody.
Right. So just to pay attention when take a deep breath, and notice how deep your breath goes. Does it go into your belly button? How deep? So the practice is to take an inhalation breath through your nose for the count of 4. So you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to hold it. 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to let it out. 2, 3, 4. And I know I said we're going to do 4, 7, 8, but the 4, 4, 4 breathing is good too. It's just giving your mind something else to do while you're breathing instead of being panicked that over the situation or that you can't take a full breath. And even just watching Belka's paint is enough to just relax. Give your mind something else to do. And just concentrate on taking a full breath. And it doesn't matter your nose or your mouth, but taking in a breath for 4, holding it for 4, and then letting it out for 4.
Kind of like just painting off the table. It's just trying to break through your boundaries.
Yes.
You know, of your own.
It's always
psyche.
your own. It's always your own. We create these boxes that we live in, and it seems these days they get more confined and more confined. So the simplest thing to do is just to remember to breathe. Just to check in.
And you know, we do this to ourselves. It's
Yes.
not something that, well, sometimes the world around us, you know, things happen.
Right.
They make you go into deep, dark places, which most of the time we don't want to go there, but it just happens. And how we deal with it, I think, helps a lot if we stay focused, you know.
Yes. Staying in the present.
Always trying to find a reason to have gratitude for what we do have.
Agreed.
Again, you know, it all depends on what that person's going through, and you know, for you, anything minimal that changes your routine may set you off, because your life is, you don't think it's perfect, and it is, and then one little thing happens, and it just throws your center.
Puts a damper on
it throws you off completely. You know, you need perspective, and perspective is gained through
Practice.
It, you know, it doesn't just happen.
Right. So whether you meditate or you do any kind of crafting or you exercise or you like to cook, you know, I think meditation gets a bad rap.
I agree with that, because I always hear it, I think it's foo-foo. But if it's something that you're practicing for self-awareness, for coping, you know, I think it's great.
It gives you, it doesn't make your life easier, but it makes you better able to deal with your life.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to defend myself against all this stuff that life throws at me, and I'm going to try to regain my bearings, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe let's try the breathing again, so I can breathe.
So again, you're just going to take a deep breath in, either through your mouth or through your nose, however you feel more comfortable. And we're going to do it to a count of 4.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to hold it for 4. 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to let it out for 4. And how do you feel like after you let it out? It's a relief.
It's very relaxed. It's almost like how you feel when you finish exercising.
Yeah.
That, like, your endorphins kick in.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I didn't want to come to class. I'm glad I did. There's a benefit from everything, and this is almost like a benefit from breathing. Is a benefit.
Yep. And I love how you painted to the count of breathing in and breathing out. So you can do it in many ways, but the most important thing is that you do it. And just pay attention and be mindful that
Explain again the other one you talked about, the 7.
Okay, so there's a technique called the 4-7-8 breathing, and it's really been proven to help your nervous system just relax.
Okay.
So it's the same principle where you breathe in for 4, you hold it for a count of 7, and then you let it out for a count of 8. This is actually done breathing in through your nose, holding it, and then whooshing it out through your mouth for a count of 8. And studies have shown that that really does help relax your nervous system. So it's really good for anxiety, for stress, and just to put you in a different place. So we can try that. So again, kind of get comfortable. This is all important. You just want to be in a place where you feel comfortable, where you're sitting comfortably, where you can, I guess in yoga my teacher used to say, feel your sit bones.
Yes.
So if you can feel your sit bones, kind of sit up straight. You can leave your eyes open or closed. I don't want to close my eyes because I'm really enjoying watching Belkis paint.
This is very therapeutic for both of us. And while you're talking, I like to be able to do my brush strokes and just gonna get lost. That's why I really enjoy this kind of new process of just
shape making
without any. I did a video now recently that we posted last week, and it's just about letting go and just taking letting the brush kind of go around in circles. Let it just dictate. Get lost in it and enjoy the moment. And while I'm doing it, I am taking my time. I am looking. I'm reflecting.
You're here.
I'm not really doing it with a purpose, but I have a purpose. Does that make sense?
Your purpose is to just let go.
Exactly.
And how many of us don't let go enough?
Enough to say, this has to be enjoyable. The process is an enjoyable process. I don't want it to become something where there's other projects where you need to focus, but when I do something like this, it's just so relaxing, and you need this every so often.
All right, so let's do that. Let's practice one time the 4-7-8.
Okay.
So you're gonna breathe in through your nose to a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're gonna hold it for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blow it out. 6, 7, 8, 9. I messed up with the counting, but
that's fine. It's delicious.
But there you go.
Holding it and just being mindful.
Yeah, and they say the actual holding of the breath is the most important part because it helps you reset. And when you exhale, you're just blowing out the stress. And afterwards, you feel kind of
relaxed.
Wow. And if anyone told me that this really works, I'd be like, you're crazy.
I know. When I first met you, you're like, no, because you need to breathe deep. I'm like, what? I'm very high strung, but I do believe that. It's almost like when you go to church,
Yeah.
Meditation's like church. Mm-hmm. When you pray, you are inside your own mind and you find a quiet place, and you say thank you for what I have, thank you for what is going to be given to me, because sometimes we don't see what's ahead.
Yes.
And there's all this struggle to get to a point where we want it to be now, and it's going to be when it's supposed to be.
Agreed.
And so we need to know that somebody else is in control, but we need to be in control, right? Just as well. So how do we control that? Through breathing, through being mindful of, saying I am blessed.
Right.
I do have, focus on the positive, which is more important than anything. We tend to focus always on the negative.
Well, that's the mind for you.
It's like when you go somewhere, you're like, oh, they gave me terrible service, but I like to take the extra step when somebody's extra nice.
Right.
Try to fill the world with kindness.
Yes.
And that starts with you.
Yes, and be kind to yourself. And this is one of the ways that you can be kind to yourself, is to just remember to take a full breath
and say things will be balanced.
Yeah, I'm okay right now.
Right.
I'm good now.
Right.
I don't know in 10 minutes, but for right now,
Right.
it's all good.
Right. I agree with that. We tend to focus, and it's that dark part in our mind that takes over.
Right.
And we just have to say, shh.
Right, but it's part of being human.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so, doctor.
Well, that was nice. How do you feel? I feel
good.
a lot more
We
relaxed.
started off.
Ooh, that's even nice.
That's
too.
even nicer, right? I almost see a person.
Yes, I do too. I was gonna say that
You see
sound.
it?
Yes, that
And I
sounds
see-
like the.
Oh, okay.
That's like kind of an abstract Virgin Mary and the baby.
I wasn't going for anything, but this is how I feel. And I feel very fall-esque because
Yes.
we have a nice breeze flowing through. So I wanted to stay within these colors again,
Yeah.
like the last piece I did.
So just like exercise, I'm really glad we did this.
Yes. We were like, oh, what are we going to talk about today? And, I wasn't inspired, so I said, I need inspiration. And you said, I need meditation. So I think
There
we
you go.
were able to combine both of our
Right.
strategies together.
Yes.
So that was nice. I'm glad we did it.
Me too. And-
Always like exercise. After it's done, it's so much over.
And so this is
Better.
an inner exercise. So
That's
we have
right.
outer exercises and inner exercises.
right.
But as always, we want everyone to stay focused,
Stay centered
and stay creative.
See you next Sunday and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yes.